Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, as usual, before I begin with this lesson, I'm going to start off by saying, Call Halal Imla Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakah HaKadosh. Double honor to the elders and the apostles, Great Millstone, who I'm taught and do learn this truth 100% from. Peace and blessings be to all who is serving Yahweh Shema Son, sincerity, hoping for mercy, as well as salvation in these latter days. To you I say Shalom and Yahweh Shema Shabbat. So as you can see, I'm in transit. I really came up with a title for this lesson at this exact moment, but something that I wanted to speak on was the power grid being cut off. Because just as of today, if I ain't mistaken, I think in Gary, Indiana, right, in which you got brothers out there, man. You know, so how about my shop broke a thumb to them brothers, and I know without a doubt, you know, Jake is out there being taken care of, man. You know, so nonetheless, after about a week and a half, Jake had just got the power cut on, man. Right, and I say Jake because this is who was primarily targeted, man. And what proves that is because you had these different, you know, you got different suburban areas and shit, you know, which is common sense, you know, it's Edomites or heathens that inhabit them areas. They was receiving assistance, man. You know, they was receiving assistance while Jake ain't had no power, man, for a week and a half. Alright. So it just goes to show you that this shit is a test run. Alright, because I was also peeping a lesson that the authors I get put out going into Project Ziffer or Cypher and Project Togo. I think that's what it's called, Project Togo. Project Ziffer basically going into how these are strategic or planned blackouts before the grand finale, so to speak, which is in the scriptures, because the Lord said that he was going to bring plagues upon Egypt as before. One of them plagues was 3 days of darkness, but it ain't just going to be 3 days of darkness here in Babylon. When the Lord said, hey, when the Lord put the spirit on this man to really get this shit up and going, and before the big power outage come, you know, you're gonna have smaller blackouts. That's what I forgot who the fuck his name was, but I guess you can call him like a whistleblower. You know, we end up getting unalive, which says a lot without saying a lot, right? Because once, you know, you got certain people who come out with this information, once they expose it, they end up gone, man. Alright, so that just lets you know that it got some truth to it. Alright, but nonetheless, right, this is an operation that they plan on carrying out. And I believe real soon, man. Real soon, like I said, I believe this was just a test run. Alright, just to see where Jake would, see how Jake will react to it, man. Alright, and believe you me, as they more and more frequently happen, right, the worse are they gonna get, right? Don't be surprised if they end up longer, man, right? Because like I said, they just trying to see how Jake gonna react to shit, man, right? And with this winter coming up, you know, a lot of you done took that jab, man. You got that jab floating around in your bloodstream as we speak, man. All right, and I remember Biden was talking about this dark winter. You know, I heard about that shit many times, man. Right, I believe that this could be that winter, man. Right, that dark winter that he was speaking about, because of course it's because they mention certain things, throw certain clues out there. That don't mean it's just gonna happen like that. Right, because we know that this man practices gradualism. Just like with the JAB, you had certain people that was affected by it, but you had to give it time to let it do what it was supposed to do. Right, and with this man having a depopulation agenda, right? Hey, we in the perfect time for this man to really get this shit up and going. right? They merged the IDF with the American military, right? So with these blackouts under Project Ziffer, right, they gon', you know, and under also Project Togo, they have what you call a red list, blue list, and a yellow list, right? They allow certain people to come out and speak on the, you know, the small hatters and shit, right? Just so they can get a follow, so they can basically mark and tag, right, those of them who they gonna basically go and execute during these blackouts, man. Right? So I believe, you know, during these blackouts, they gonna be sending the IDF, right, these different mercenary troops to go and blow Jake down, because they show you that in the Purge, man. All right, they show you that in the Purge on how, you know, once they got this shit going, you know, they would send, you know, mercenaries to go in the projects and slaughter Jake, man. All right, and there's Esau try to murder Jake. That same spirit has been put back on him, man, and truly it has never left him. Right, but the Most High is basically getting that spirit back on him, that bloodthirsty like spirit back on him, right, to execute judgment on you tribes, man. You niggas better wake up, man. I seen the video, Jake got the power cut on and shit, it's understandable, right? But then at the same time, this shit should have been a wake-up call, man, right? Your spiritual light bulb should have started going off. Your spiritual antennas should have started been raising after this shit, man. Right? Because how the fuck is a blackout when you got the cell towers up? Don't the cell towers run off electricity? Right? But see, Jake don't even think about this shit, man. Alright? So, when this big one go down, you best believe it's going to be far more worse than what any of you can even imagine, man. The scripture says in the book of Jeremiah 30:7 that it's gonna be like a time never before, man. Alright, you had Jake cooking spaghetti on the grill, right? In which that ain't shit, right? You also had, you know, Jake having to just cook up all their food, because if they didn't, then the shit was gonna spoil because they didn't have no way to keep it fresh. Alright, but we talking about a time where it ain't just gonna be a week and a half, man. Right? This shit can go on for a month and longer than that, right? Because once they really get this shit going, where they really cut the power grid, because the American power grid is way outdated, man, right? And they strategically did that, right? Like I remember in 2020 when I was staying in my hometown in Texas, you know, Esau, he had fucked with the weather and caused the polar vortex. Where the temperatures got cold than a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? The infrastructure in Texas ain't even built to withstand that type of, you know what I'm saying, them low ass temperatures. So you had pipes busting. You know what I'm saying? Jakes was losing electricity and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, so cold, bro. So cold to the point where you had people sleeping in their cars, man, dying from carbon monoxide poisoning because they was trying to keep warm. Alright, cutting the hot water on in the shower and shit to try to stay warm. Got all type of layers on and shit. You know what I mean? What you think it's gonna be like when they really get this, you know, when this main power grid shutdown actually come? It's gonna be bad. Alright, if I ain't mistaken, I think it's predicted to be estimated 100 million Americans to basically perish during the blackout, man. Right, which ain't far-fetched, because after about 3 days, man, you're gonna start seeing shit get more and more, I guess you could say, hectic. Right, after that power is shut down, man. Alright, motherfuckers here ain't built to withstand, you know what I'm saying, that type of them type of trials and tribulations, man. Alright, because with that comes the perishing of your food, alright, all your meat, anything that requires refrigeration, all that shit's gonna spoil quick. Alright, you're gonna have people looting and raiding these grocery stores, man. And you know within that, you're going to have chaos in itself. All right, motherfuckers shooting at each other to take each other's shit. You know what I'm saying? I remember during the pandemic, whenever they had told everybody to go buy up the toilet paper, you had old ladies fighting and shit over shit, fighting over hand sanitizer. But when it gets to that point, the motherfuckers ain't got the stuff that they need. How you think people gonna be acting, man? I already talked about it in 2nd That's the 15th chapter on how it's gonna be people walking around with swords in their hands, man. In Texas, the Congress just passed this law that basically allows people to carry short barrel rifles and shotguns and shit, man, and also silencers. Right, meaning that you can have those things without breaking the law, man. Right, so you see this man. He's setting the stage, man. Right, he's setting the stage to get this shit cracking. But like I said, this power outage wasn't shit. You had Eve talking about how she hearing gunshots outside, and you're gonna be hearing a whole lot more of that, especially when the main one go down, man. You're gonna be seeing people laid out slumping shit. You know what I'm saying? Imagine when people ain't ate in 2 to 3 weeks. People gonna be committing cannibalism faster than what the fuck you know it, bro. Alright, people that's relying on these machines and shit to stay alive, they gonna be being unalived. Alright, you gonna have people going door to door trying to take each other's shit. Man, it's gonna be a war zone in America, man. Right, and I guess you can call it like a documentary, but something that shows you that is the American blackout. The one thing that you gotta understand is that this man practices predictive programming. If they show you that shit in movies, what makes you think that they don't plan on bringing this shit in real life, man? Obviously, Jake don't think like that. Jake think that everything is just Hollywood. Think that everything is just entertainment, man. But you finna see, bro. Right, you finna see. The scripture says that this man is getting ready to come down with great wrath, man. So you gonna have people cooking motherfuckers on the grill. Cause it only takes 9 missed meals, right, according to, I think his name was Albert Pike. Right, he had made this prediction, right, concerning read that bitch. He had made this prediction concerning what's it called? The Western civilization, on how it only takes people in the West to miss 9 missed meals before they start contemplating on committing violence to start getting the shit that they need, man. Alright, so just imagine after about a week, and it's gonna be motherfuckers going crazy, man. Alright, motherfuckers gonna be having withdrawals from all the chemicals in the food. They ain't gonna know how to act. Right, and like I said, ain't no telling what that JAB gonna do. You know what I mean? Information just came out on how your immune system is compromised. But it can even be a lot more to it than that. Right? They can really tweak you and cause you to have certain thoughts to do shit, man. Alright, this man has that type of power. So shit gonna get bad here in the States, man. In the very near future. So, you know, with that being said, I don't run to side. I did make some points. It's like, you know, I'm in transit, so there's only so much I can do. But, you know, just something that I want to speak on before I got to go to camp, man. So with that being said, shalom.